Have you ever tried to fight with one of these before? Well, I'm switching out these for this today. All right, so Conecuh sausage is made in Conecuh, Alabama, and it just has a better taste and flavor to me. I was introduced to this when I was in college and I was dating my husband, and we had it at a tailgate and I fell in love with it. Now, at the tailgate, they didn't take and put it and make it into pigs in a blanket. They just had it served grilled with a little bit, oops, almost lost one, with a little bit of Dijon mustard. So I thought, let's add some pie crust and see if we can make pigs in a blanket a little bit more elevated. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these in a cast iron skillet and I'm gonna grill them for just a little bit, just so they get some nice grill marks on them, so they have a deeper, better, kind of more rich flavor, and that fat just kind of starts to cook and caramelize. They're gonna be amazing. So you can probably hear the sausage sizzling in the background. It's starting to smell amazing, and while it's cooking, I am going to roll out my pie crust. So this is the secret ingredient, this all butter pie crust. It beats these rolls hands down. I think you're gonna love it. So once you make the pie crust, roll it out, and then you're gonna start cutting it into little bitty strips, and we're gonna wrap it around the little bitty sausages once they get done. You don't have to roll it perfectly. You're just trying to get a good enough size so that you can make sure to wrap every single little pig in a blanket of delicious pie crust. So let me check on this sausage right now. So we've got our sausage. This only took about 4 or 5 minutes to make. Quick, easy appetizer to serve for a party, to take to a tailgate, or to have at a summer get together as just an easy finger food app. All right, so we've got our pie crust right here. These are gonna be kind of hot. So what I want you to do is let these chill for about 10 minutes. If you put them directly onto the pie crust, you're gonna start melting the pie crust, and that is not what we want. So I would let these chill for 10 minutes, go ahead and cut my strips, and then come back to them. So let's get started cutting our strip. So we've cut our strips, and as I mentioned, I love to use a fluted wheel because I think it just makes a pretty design. So once you've cut your strips, you're gonna just take your little sausage, roll it right up. You really only need about half of a strip, maybe even a little bit less. You don't wanna have a bunch of rolls and a bunch of layers, just a little bit is enough. And then I've got some, oops, I got everything but bagel seasoning, not the right thing. I've got some butter right here. You just wanna brush it with butter and do this first one for you so I can show you, and then we'll put them all in a sheet pan, and then just sprinkle it with just a little bit of everything but bagel seasoning. All right, so I'm gonna do the rest of these, and then we're gonna get them on a sheet pan and bake them. I love the flavor of this right here because it has the delicious flavor of the butter, which can almost be just a little bit sweet sometimes, with the salty savoriness of the sausage. And I meant to tell y'all, I picked up the spicy, bold and spicy Conecuh sausage, which I think it's just a little bit better if you need, or if you like, a kick. All right, so I've got all the little piggies in a blanket wrapped in the delicious pie crust. And now all you need is a sheet pan. I'm gonna bake them in the oven. All right, so we're just gonna place these on our sheet pan. You can have these a little bit closer together than you typically do if you're doing a puff pastry, because these are not gonna puff up and rise as much as the puff pastry ones will. Now we're gonna baste these little babies in butter. And if you are not a big fan of everything but bagel seasoning, I've heard over time that some people are not, you can always do just a little bit of fresh cracked pepper on the top and a little sprinkling of some kosher salt, and that would be equally delicious, I think. All right, now time for the everything but bagel. See how quick and easy this recipe can be. It's perfect for all your summer cookouts that you're gonna have. I always think it's a great idea to have a little appetizer when people walk in that they can easily just pick up, place on a napkin, walk around with, and eat in one bite. And I promise you, your guests are gonna love these. Let's get them in the oven. The pigs in the blanket are out of the oven and they look absolutely delicious. I'm always looking for ways to update a regular recipe and make it a little more fun, a little more elevated, and a little different. I don't want to make it a lot harder on myself, and I think I showed that it's not that much harder to substitute something completely homemade for something that comes in a can. So a little bit of this for that, and I think this turned out a whole lot better. I think y'all will love it.